Greetings. This will be for the spiritual warriors only. I mean, I'm glad you're all here, but I don't expect many of you to understand this. However, you're more than welcome to follow along. And I'll post this, I'll repost it. Rather, I've posted it before, but you have to scroll down my community page for a while before you find it. However, this will touch base a little bit about what's going on. I can't make a comment like, with a destiny swap gone horribly wrong. I'm just going to swoop in like Mikey Pikey from Snatch and snatch all your destinies and then give them back to you. But I mean, you have to take that shit. You have to take that shit. And when it comes to the spiritual journey, I mean, I've already said it before. Your golden bowl, which I mean, all of you are kind of a golden bowl, depending on what you pack it with. Depends on what you pack your golden bowl with. Now, most of you, if you take your destiny back for me, I'm going to pack it with shit. So you will have to eat all of the shit out of your golden bowl before you get your golden destiny back. Simple enough. Simple enough. So, and I do edify, a lot of the research that I've done that fucking nobody else is going to do. And I know that. However, I don't mind because I enjoy this shit. So, let me get back to where we were. First off, if you go to the Higher Self channel years ago, the Higher Self channel posted something about, for the spiritual warriors to understand basically the end game in this situation. And it was, and word for word, I'll quote it the best I can. This is what she said, when the big kahuna comes, you have three choices. You can run towards the big tsunami like an idiot, and it'll throw you down, beat you, batter you, all that fun stuff. But then you come back with a tailor-made life, which is where a lot of the spiritual warriors are at now. We come back in this incarnation on this planet and or others. We come back with a tailor-made life set up by the divine. And it's a divine destiny. So with that being said, on the Higher Self channel, she also said, you have a second option. When the wave comes over, you can take the starseed route. Yay, I'm going home. And when you breathe in the blue, when you breathe in that big wave of blue, you'll ascend instantly. Kind of like strike me down and I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. It just kind of goes along with that. Or you have a third option. You do have a third option. And what they say on the Higher Self channel is you can run in fear of your exit plan because that was the way you chose to exit. And I mean, you can't go until it's your time to go anyway. So, you can turn and run away from your exit plan. And, and then, once again, you'll be battered, beaten, bruised, all that fun stuff anyway. But then you have to come back and learn all of your lessons over again because fear doesn't exist. You have to come back as Adam, A-T-O-M, start over as a fucking Adam based on your soul review and do all of this over again to help you with your karmic lessons. So let's take the spiritual warriors into account. This is a piece of cardboard. Oh, wouldn't you know, it's the tower. This is a piece of cardboard. Your subconscious mind or your creator consciousness or your Christ consciousness or your super consciousness or your God consciousness. It does not give a shit what you call it. It knows weight, distance, texture, measurement, and the image that the artist put on this card before the artist ever put it on the card. The creator knows everything. So when we're being set up divinely in these situations, everybody, how does Pisces keep doing it? Well, I'm going to show you just a quick example. So you have to know thyself true. And once you know thyself true, well, then you're doing the synchronistic dance with the universe, because the universe is constantly sending you signs. Google signs from the universe. So let's take the INFJ Earth Angel as an example. So when I find an artist adaptation of the INFJ Earth Angel and I'm looking at it like I would a tarot card, looking for the signs, looking for the things that it's just what it is. So as I'm looking at, and I'll show you so you know which one. I'm looking at this INFJ Earth Angel picture, and I'll put it on the community page so you can look at it too. So when I see three white, those look like wolves to me, and you have a lot of that white wolf energy. Now, I mean, you could assume it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, or I could tell you I'm the whole fucking pack. So it's what it is. My favorite Kardashian quote. Yeah, I've said it before. She goes to some talent agents or whatever, and they said, "Tell us, what do you bring to the table?" She said, "I'm a Pisces. I am the table." So if we know that Pisces is the table, and I see three white wolves, three would represent Pisces. And Lowe, if you do the research on the last name Lowe, and not Rob Lowe, not Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe's gone. That shit came and gone. You had your chance to match Rob Lowe energy, and you either took it or you didn't. It doesn't matter. I don't care. However, we're matching the frequency of Earth Angels right now. So as an INFJ, and it says, I have vivid dreams that come to life. So when I hear a Pisces reader say, Pisces, pay attention to your dreams. And then I find this that says, I have vivid dreams that come to life. A Pisces INFJ, that would be the makings. That would be the makings of an Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet. So, yeah, and then you've got all these, they keep attacking you in your dreams, Pisces. Well, I mean, I don't know how many of you wake up after a night of being a liquid metal sunshine angel, but it's just what it is. I mean, it appears in reality for us. So when I hear that light and dark angel energy, well, I mean, okay, cool. So we've got the light and the dark there. We've got dark wings. Simple enough. Hey, it's Die, my friend. It's Die. Die's out. It's just what it is. Oh, and what's going on, man? Say hi to YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. Now, if you look here, you also see, that to me would be the artist's idea of the halo. All right. Have a beautiful day, man. Bringing that halo down. I mean, that if I look at the starseed card, I mean, the halo is above the head. If you look at an angel, you'll see the halo is above the head. So that would be the halo above the head. Now, the horns, that would be a concern. And the ears, and the little elf ears, because I mean, if you look at like Terrence McKenna, he was an esoteric genius, and he had a beautiful comeback for stupid people, because they asked him one time about, people said things about him being schizophrenic. He says, well, I would have to be schizophrenic. I'm able to process information that you can't even perceive, which is what we're doing now. So processing this information that most people can't even perceive. And for real, if I zoom in, and shout out to Light Path, because you clicked on the Reddit. You clicked on the Reddit hidden Easter egg in the post that had the cat spinning around, which is what gave me this idea. Because I mean, if you look at if you look at that halo, it kind of looks like the thing on the floor that disappeared where the cat appeared. So it's what I mean. If you haven't seen that in the community page, then you won't have a clue what we're talking about. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. Anyway, so if I see three white wolves swooping in, and I mean, we're talking about yin yang energy that scares the shit out of these people. So, because that's like an electric eel if you're able to harness it properly. So, if we've got this situation where, and I mean, if I look on artist adaptation of this individual's chest, there is some symbolism there that I would relate to Christ consciousness. Now, the antlers or the horns with the elf ears. Now, when I hear Chicago say things like, the Earth Angel is mixed with fairy and fae blood. Well, my mother's name was Faye, and her first name was Hallie. And if you break Hallie down, that translates into dweller, dweller in the meadows outside of the manor, which to me, fuck, that sounds like a fae trap, doesn't it? Anyway, moving forward. Now, when it comes to fairies and machine elves and shit, I've been through all that shit. It's what it is. Once you activate your astral sight, you don't need psychedelics or things like that to transcend into those areas. What does that? Astral vision sees astral entities, and it's much more organic and way fucking weirder than a synthetic experience. So, does cannabis heighten these things? In the past, yes, but once you're able to set your intentions with Reiki or universal life force energy, I can match the vibrational frequency of any energy that I want to experience. So, do 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 do. However, in this picture where I see the three white wolves coming down behind that individual, and you've got a lot of that energy of the dog walker energy. And because I had weird dog walkers in the area that just kind of popped up, like backdrop people that just kind of popped up anytime I went outside or went to do something. As what it is, I don't care what people do, but they're certainly up to something, and your girls are picking them up in the cards. Okay, great. So now I have a dog to walk, and that fucks them up. That's because I do. I walk right up to them, and I watch them twitch and shit. When I watch people glitching in the matrix, and they try to pull it off, but my energy affects them in ways that they don't understand. They give themselves away. They give themselves away, and you already gave them away in the cards, so it's not like I'm telling you anything that you don't already know. However, you at 12:12 on the clock, you will have a new dog walker energy around the sun or Pisces because I have a fucking dog. I'll be walking the dog and enjoying the universe. Now, when I look at the hands of this Earth Angel, that shit looks like Groot. I am Groot. And that would match the entire aspect of what I said in the last video about waking up liquid metal sunshine angels. It's just what it is. I mean, you can think of that as nature, but in my dreams, that shit's liquid metal sunshine. So it's the best way I can explain it. And I mean, no one asked about my QHHT session, and I do. I tell my clients, don't share. When I send you that recording, don't share that shit with people because then it gives them ammunition and they will target you. And, I'm a firm believer that as long as they're targeting me, they can't target you. Imagine that. Simple enough. And then that just gives you, and I don't fucking, being above someone, being in front of someone, it really doesn't matter. If you're above them, well, then you just grab their ass and you toss them into the sun. Poof, away they go. Now, if you're behind the bat signal, then you just shine the bat. You've got a 6-foot diamond plated flashlight that you can beat these demons off with. Simple enough. Simple enough. That's what it is. Anyway. Right, and there's a notification that came in right there. We won't name that individual, however, they are doing amazing. And you got to think, I mean, I plant seeds that grow over time, like Groot's hand there. And when I plant those seeds in your mind, yes, I will live in your head rent-free for the rest of your life. That's why I have 5-star reviews, and I make sure I'm an asshole because the energy affects you in ways that you don't understand. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I plan on going for the absolute power corrupts absolutely. So I can't exist until you make me. So it's what it is. You have to make me exist. And most people don't believe in God anyway. And we're watching karma fucking just wrath them all out, which is fine. I mean, it's not that big a deal. However, we do have a mission. Okay, so back to the antlers. The antler aspect, that will fall in line perfectly with shamanism. I mean, that's how the shamans manifested. They used magic. They used magic manifestation techniques. Basically, what they did was found a carcass of a deer. That's where your interpretation of the devil comes from, because the devil has antlers. Okay, cool. So, with Loki and Freya, earth magic, or just earth magic in general, shamanism. Let's just go with shamanism. They would take a carcass, and then one individual would dress up. They would dress up with the antlers on their head, and they would dance around in a ritual style ceremony where the hunters would reenact the hunt and the takedown of whatever fucking had antlers that they were chasing. So spears and shit, and away with the antlered woodland creature. So antlered woodland creatures would be a blessing to them, because they ate deer and shit. So when you have that buck's rack on there, that immediately symbolizes shamanism in that picture, right? Because that's where shamanism is the oldest form of spirituality known to man. It's where all your magic and all that shit comes from. All your spirituality comes from shamanism, because it is the oldest. And respecting our elders in a situation like this has fucking been thrown out the window. So when I hear Pisces ancestors are now magically, because I work with the angels, and that would be the thing, is it's just like Dolores Cannon said, tell the angels what you want and then sit back and watch the magic happen. Now, how that works with earth angels is that's a matter of perception. Sacrificing them didn't fucking work out too well for these people, and it's what it is. I mean, if you look over at the individual holding the lantern like a hermit, however, we know that individual would be an INFJ. So, you can't copy dual brain hemisphere function. You can't copy that shit. And I mean, everything happens in divine right time. Having an 8-year cycle start for these people, as a teacher and a justice bringer of karma, I would much rather see them go through everything that they wanted for another person, so they would know how that soul feels. You would need to go through everything that you wanted for that other person so that the soul can grow. Because on the other side, I mean, we're all kind of one. We all kind of came from the source. So, having that energy of someone connected to the source. Okay, great. So I'm looking for these earth angels that have a direct connection to source. Because what it is, I know how people really, really want unity and da 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 da. But with this love-hate relationship that has played its way out, basically these people are so fucking tainted as trigger demons, there's nothing more we can do for them. And when I hear Mystic Nine, she said that these demons will experience holy fire hotter than hell. That to me gives the etheric wings aspect, right? And I mean, as dark as that shit may sound, when I activate my etheric wings, people they glitch out. Oh, and I don't know how your priest casts out demons or any of that weird shit. I know how Reiki masters do it because I've been studying that. However, that's the problem that we have got into, is just because the master says, move demon mountain, doesn't mean he does it. Does not mean that he does it. Ooh, look at that, 11:10 on the clock. So just because the master says mountain move, it doesn't mean he does it. It means these people have locked themselves into a cycle. It's more important for the soul to go through all of those souls' experiences, and it's just what it is. I mean, what they wanted for another is basically what they wanted for themselves. And destiny destiny swapping with a solar earth angel. I mean, when you hear a reader say that everything 11:11, when you hear a reader say that everything Pisces touches turns to gold, everything that Pisces touches turns to gold, like magic. And then you have a Pisces tell you that my QHHT session involved wispy people. See how wispy that guy kind of is? So, I mean, the first thing that should run through your mind, even though the artist didn't adapt to it very well, would be holy fire, liquid metal, sunshine, and that's fire. So, when you think destiny swap, and a group of demons now, oh God, what have we done? Well, it's just what it is. They would have destiny swapped with fire and water, and I guess that would be the lake of fire, because God used us as bait, as spiritual warriors. God used us as bait. That's what it is. And to truly tempt the devil, they would have to look at it like moonshine. They'd have to be obsessed with the Kundalini energy, like alcoholics obsessed with an energy, breaking every spiritual, universal, and physical law known to man, breaking all of these laws, and then wanting to cover up their tracks. Oh no, we can't take accountability for what we did, so we have to try to sacrifice that earth angel that hasn't raised Archangel Michael's sword of truth yet. No. It was more important to come into divine union and basically let God trash these people. So, as God is trashing these people over the next 8-year cycle, I can't do anything about that, because then that would put me in the same position that they're in. It's a divine plan. So now that the divine plan is carrying out for the divine beings in the light, just for what could have been divine beings, but they chose the dark. So while they're in the dark trying to figure out the signs from the universe and shit that they don't even believe in anyway, that's fine. That's fine. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and knowing that the tarot readers probably just picked up in a way that people tapped into the source are going to understand. It's what is getting you guys into alignment, since I snatched your destinies, like Pikey Mikey, with the dag. I've got the dags. Did you see my dog? I got a dag, and I snatched all of your confirmation. Thank you for that, Spirit. What do we got? 1113. And yes, I mean, you're going to have people that are petrified of these abilities, and that's fine. They should have had their own. And that's the thing. Them wanting to steal other people's abilities so that they can abuse them pretty much costs them their own. And I mean, come on, when you fuck up in class, generally the teacher ends up with your toys. So we will leave it at that. And thank you for the beautiful 5-star reviews. Now, when I hear you ladies saying every time you see your birthday there's a message following from the universe, and then I was listening to that, and as she was saying it, it's pretty much what it is. It says Jesus is the King of Hearts, John 3:16, and being a 3:16 myself, and attuning to my angel number of 888, which is the Redeemer of Souls. You're an escort of souls. Well, it depends on where I'm escorting them to, I guess. If they destiny swap, then they've kind of escorted themselves. And I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about people wanting to be fucking the lake of fire. That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Having the ability to, Pisces, you walk through the fire. No. We swim. We swim through the fire with wings. So, simple enough. And when these people try to play the victim, oh, we feel set up. Well, you were set up by the divine the same way that we were, because see, the divine sets us up with signs, synchronicities, and symbols and omens and things. The same way they set you up that you just were completely unaware of. And that's fine. That's fine. So, what does that do? Well, I mean, that closes one door and it opens another, because when one door closes, another opens. So, and I want you guys to open your own doors. Simple enough. Me, I really don't want to do shit, to be totally honest. I've had enough of these people. I just want to sit back and observe. So it is, while I'm, kind of observing or supervising you guys living your dreams over here, you're more than welcome to call, because I will. I'll come in. I will mop and I will sleep. So I'll mop and I'll sleep. I'll mop and I will sweep the floors of your dreams. But these people that are only fucking up the floors in a nightmare, I can't do anything. They're in a nightmare, and the floors were already fucked up before they got there. So while I'm going this way with people, living their dreams in the light, that door has opened. And it's what it is. So now people will know, well, if I'm in the dark and he's not, cleaning up the floors over here, he's only going to, play janitor or. And I do have to observe the floors in your dreams. If there's something wrong with the floors of your dreams, I can help there. I can't help these people because we shut the door and they're in the nightmare. They're in the nightmare where the floors were already fucked up. They're just, adding to it. They're adding two fucked up floors over here. So as we go this direction, with the signs, the synchronicities, and the symbolism that was already laid out for us, people, oh, he cheated. Well, yes, because we were spiritual warriors in a past life, and the divine set us up, just like the divine set you up. We just had to awaken to it. So, and I mean, a couple ground rules. Let's face it. When I hear these readers say they tried to poison the sun, at that point, that's when I need to have to step in. She's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. These readers are doing an amazing job, but every time I hear that, I do have to make that correction so that it doesn't, screw up the minds of the other Pisces that are hearing that reading. There's really no try to that when I drank that shit on purpose. So, if I'm drinking poison on purpose and that's fucking up tarot land, it's up to me. It's up to me to stand in my integrity and to tell you I didn't get the same reaction they wanted. For them to, and this was years ago, but you still have that energy in the cards. So, I mean, if they're still trying to do it, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know at this point because the time I tried it, it didn't work out. Neither one of us got the result that we wanted. I'm sure if you're going to poison someone, that's the result that they wanted. The result I wanted was to wake up to some chick going, "Oh my God, what the fuck is happening?" Right, and that's what I was going for, and I didn't get my way either. I didn't. I've learned that lesson. We've had that lesson before. So while this paranormal INFJ shit continues to play out, and it's what it is, we've got a long 8-year cycle. We have a long 8-year cycle because it's not one person now that a group of demons didn't get their wish. Now it's a group of demons getting exactly what they wanted for someone else. And we're just going to have to wade through it. It's just what it is. It's just what we get your waders on. It's what it is. Get your big boy pants. Pull that shit up. Because I mean, when I hear Mystic 9 and Straight from the Divine, and it's been several others as well, when I hear you talking about them attacking the crown, I'm not going to go back to that. You can go look at it on the community page. When I hear them talking about attacking the crown, that was basically attacking the divine. That was them attacking the divine white light. Regardless if they were using a voodoo doll to attack my head. So, I mean, that shit has now showed up on an x-ray, but they want physical evidence of who was responsible, and I can't do anything about that except mirror that karma back to them over an 8-year cycle, so that you'll see. Oh well, here's our physical evidence. They wanted to attack the Earth Angel's nervous system. Now their nervous system, they just danger. We'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see it play out in front of our eyes. So simple enough. It's simple enough. Not that big of a deal, I guess. And if you try to make it a big deal now when it wasn't a big deal then, you're going to have serious fucking karma coming your way too. You'll have serious karma coming your way too. Simple enough, because everybody's getting exactly what they wanted. What they wanted for another. What they wanted for another is exactly what they will be getting for themselves. And I think that works out beautifully. I think that absolutely works out beautifully. And I mean, my rules still stand, whether or not I want to pursue them anymore. Yeah, at least in 117 countries. I mean, I wish the death experience on all of you. Simple enough. I mean, you get 5-star reviews afterwards. You get to learn the Dolores Cannon QHHT method and how it works. You don't want to have expectations. You don't want to have expectations finding a practitioner in your area. You don't want to have expectations going into that, because what you run into is Dolores Cannon's 3 waves of volunteers: your star seeds, your earth angels, your indigo, crystal, and rainbow children. You will have those people that, and that's, how much time do we have? That I revert that whole situation back to a gentleman named Edgar Bergen. Now, Edgar Bergen was he was a ventriloquist act. He had a dummy named Charlie, and there was a young girl's father. Now, this was before TV. Can you imagine being a ventriloquist act on the radio? So, the girl always liked to go down to the radio station, when Edgar Bergen and Charlie, the ventriloquist act, would be down there, because her dad would have like the script. They really abused Edgar because that was his act. And, these fucking highfalutin producers and whatnot. Anyway, as they would abuse Edgar Bergen and, just basically, you know, tell him what to do. They would tell him what to do, control the creative rights, because that was the thing. Charlie would make fun of Edgar. That was the act. The dummy was smarter than the ventriloquist. But they used to have a show where, Edgar was the judge, but Charlie, anyway. Once TV came out, he got a spot there. Anyway, the story goes basically the young girl wanted to go with her father to the hotel where Edgar was staying with Charlie, with the ventriloquist dummy. And when they get down to the hotel room, the door is cracked open. So, and they can hear a conversation going. So they don't want to be rude. The young lady said, her father kind of opens the door and steps inside. And Edgar is looking out the window with Charlie sitting on the bed like Annabelle. Like fucking Charlie's just sitting on the bed like Annabelle. And Edgar is looking out the window. And as Edgar is looking out the window, he's asking Charlie, what are the secrets to the universe? What is the meaning of love? How can we truly know what our purpose is? And they're standing there shocked, because the most beautiful philosophical shit ever heard in the 40s. Who knows? You go do your research on the dates before fucking TV, during the radio era. So they're hearing this and they're shocked. They're like, what is this dummy says? Dummy's talking some philosophical shit. And she said she can remember her father remembering his devout, religious upbringing or whatever, and he cleared his throat. And he was shocked at what he was hearing. And Edgar turns around. He's like, huh. Well, hi, Jim, or whatever his name is. You caught us. He was like, Edgar, where did you learn? Because they thought Edgar was stupid. His whole act was the dummy making fun of him. They thought he was stupid. And now here they hear this beautiful, the meaning of love and the secrets of the universe and all of these fucking QHHT style questions with the answers coming out of the dummy. So where did you learn all that stuff? He says, it's not me, Jim. It's Charlie. He says, yeah, but you're the ventriloquist. You talk for Charlie. He says, I know, but when I ask him these questions, I don't know where the information comes from. He's still the ventriloquist. He's still making Charlie talk, but he's letting go and tapping into his higher self, or his subconscious mind that we tap people into in QHHT. Firm believer of it. Simply because that's the kind of shit that we get out of people that can truly let go without expectation. They're their own ventriloquist. The higher self is coming through them like they're the dummy, like they're the blood sack of bones and muscle and shit laying there on the bed. But yet you've got this beautiful philosophical shit coming out of the ventriloquist dummy out of your client. So those are the expectations that you can't have, and that's how I combine them together and go, oh, that shit makes a lot of sense. So if you've never heard the story of Edgar Bergen and Charlie, that's what it is. He shocked people back then, before Dolores Cannon, with that kind of information. He would ask the question, like the QHHT practitioner. The QHHT practitioner is Edgar, the dummy. We're the actual dummy looking out the window asking the questions. And then you've got, the smart person, which is the ventriloquist dummy laying there, allowing the higher self to speak for them. So simple enough. Anyway. And yeah, I mean, when you hear readers talking about Pisces, you play dumb to win. Well, yeah, I think of Edgar Virgin and the ventriloquist dummy. Simple enough. Simple enough. Now, when I hear these readers talking about a Pisces Earth Angel channeling pure sunshine, that is a concern. That is a concern. I'm looking for that person. I'm looking for that person because at the same time, confirmation, you have readers talking about them trying to sacrifice that 3,500 on the clock. That would be 8 with double God, force, karma, or energy. 0 represents God. So that was kind of neat. I get 3,500 on the clock, spiritual knock on the ceiling, and people afraid of my spiritual protection. So I can't do anything about, all these readers talking about Pisces, they're afraid of your magical protector. Well, what was taken will be returned. Just don't expect it to be returned in the way that it was taken. Simple enough. Simple enough. We did crazy shit in other dimensions. Very, very crazy things in other dimensions, trying to wake up the masses. Anyway, the masses will wake up in their own time, and a lot of this information is absolute fucking poison for their soul. That's why I do the same thing the copycats do, except I edify where the story came from and who told it. So it's just where they're trying to duplicate and steal someone's intellectual property. I just tell you where it's at so you can go fucking do the research yourself. Simple enough. And shout out to Susan. Susan's like, Pisces, what the fuck? These people didn't expect this. And I was like, well, no, because we already knew. We already told them. I don't know how they could not expect it when we told them a year ago. It just takes a while for things to come into fruition. And now that it has came into fruition, what we predicted over a year ago, we predicted this shit over a year ago. But they didn't believe it. Okay, cool. Well, seeing is believing. And now that they're seeing it, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Will it be difficult? Well, yeah, it's going to be. How hard was it for one person to get through an 8-year cycle versus a whole group of people without spiritual protection getting through an 8-year cycle? It's simple enough. We're still protected, but now you have unprotected people losing their minds with neurological issues from attacking our chakra system. I mean, that's going to be the question, because when I hear and when I read in the Destiny Swap trying to sacrifice Earth Angels, basically that shit reads out as the wrath of God. As these people are going through the wrath of God, I can't focus on that. Just because the master says mountain move doesn't mean he doesn't shut the fucking door and leave them in the dark to suffer their karma. We have to go this way. I mean, as a QHHT practitioner, I know, how can a soul possibly grow and know what another soul has been through if they don't go through it themselves? And I mean, when that shit says it takes lifetimes for them to go through it, well, that's a them problem. That is a group think tank brainstorm. How are we going to get out of this? Because I don't care. They got to get out of it, and I don't care. It's what it is. I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn. So. And it's what it is. I mean, knowing that these people are going to play the victim, because, I mean, let's face it, now they're a victim of their own ignorance. So while they're playing the victim of their own ignorance as narcissists, it's the narcissist empath paradigm, I will continue looking for that Earth Angel, because she said that this morning. These people don't know what they have gotten themselves into, and someone needs to rescue that individual from this dumb shit. So while I'm looking for that person that needs to be rescued from this dumb shit, they can go play the victim and cause all kinds of problems. It's just what it is. Hell on earth. They're basically hell on earth, and we transcended that timeline. So that's what it is. However, I mean, that Earth Angel would have to have a business for me to rescue them. They would have to have spiritual gifts that others are trying to steal for me to rescue them. It's just what it is, because I mean, you can't ask someone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So while these people are over here in disarray trying to save themselves, it's just what it is. I mean, I'm not truly Captain Save-a-Thoth, but it's what it is. I mean, I want to say Captain Save-a-Ho because people might look at me differently that way. It's just what, however we do. We want to take ourselves out of the picture because it's just what we do. We're very, very good at being elusive, and it's what it is. I mean, if we're, trying to find the light that is on this side of the table with all of these people now on the other, because there's a door in the middle of the table, so they can't even get to the other side of the door because the door has been shut. So they're on the other side. They got the INFJ door slam. They're basically in the darkness and hell on earth. So while they're in the darkness and hell on earth, and that's the plan. We have to find that earth angel with the business so that we can fly away. And when we fly away, the table will just flip over with the door, and then they can just spiral down into wherever they go. So wherever demons go, the door is here. They couldn't get through the door. We come off this side of the table, and then the table, the door, and everyone on the other side of the door are their ancient ruins. Yes, they do. They get to flip down into the ancient ruins. So that's what it is. Just what it is. All right. Well, everybody have a good, beautiful, beautiful day. 40:40 on the clock. Simple enough. Simple enough. And yeah, I mean, nothing gets better without change. So, I mean, unless you have light and protection and solution going forward, we have to leave you on the other side of the door. That's what it is. I mean, now you're more than welcome to try to come in the door, but you have to find a way to resurrect that earth angel first. That's what it is. I mean, fucking phone calls and shit coming in. So I gave it the office. And it's what it is. I mean, because wanting more without an equal give and take. No, that's got you on the other side of the door in the darkness. Well, we need to know the information over there. Well, yeah, I know, but you would have to find a way to resurrect the earth angel other than to be just like those fucking people that are getting the whoopie-doo, that are getting the okey doke on top of their crowns. Simple enough. Simple enough. I mean, it's what it is. You have to learn from their mistakes. If you can't learn from their mistakes, well, then that's why you're on the other side of the door. Simple enough. Simple enough. All right. Well, good talk. Good talk. Everybody have a beautiful day. I think, and when I hear Susan say Pisces, you need to rest. She's talking about the devil wears Prada. That's what it is. I was like, that's fine. The devil can wear Prada. I don't give a shit what people wear. I mean, Sam Walton went into, Walmart corporate meetings wearing overalls and shit, and he drove an old beat up Ford. Could basically buy a couple countries. However, he preferred an old beat up Ford. Simple enough. And when I hear that Pisces, you don't care anymore. Well, no, because we have to focus on retrieving our destiny. We're doing destiny retrieval. We've done all the soul retrieval exercises one can do. Now we're getting that soul's destiny, which basically looks like an antlered elfy wispy earth angel whose dreams vividly come to reality. So as we can focus on our dreams vividly appearing in reality, that's what it is. I have to keep the floor clean. I can't have a bunch of people bringing their shit off the floor in a nightmare into our dreams. We just can't have that. There's rules to this. So we've got to follow those rules. Simple enough. And no, Mystic 9, their mind manipulation and shit, that doesn't work on me. It just doesn't. And yes, I will continue playing dumb because it's no one's fucking business. That's why I'm going to continue playing Edgar and Charlie. Simple enough. Simple enough. So, good talk. 43:33. It's just what it is. So everyone, have a beautiful weekend. You may see more of me. You may not. It really does. That's neither here nor there. That's what it is. I mean, you have to look at your destiny like Grover from Sesame Street. Simple enough. I mean, your destiny's either near or it's far. You're either near what you came here to do, or you're super fucking far away from it. And that's what it is. Confirmation. So that's what it is. While I'm resurrecting earth angels, you got to find them first. While I'm resurrecting earth angels, you can learn from these people's mistakes, and you can figure out how to make earth angels give a fuck about anyone else anymore. Simple enough. Simple, because we have an 8-year cycle of just learning how to truly not give a fuck about people going through karma. As rough as that is, yeah, they want to pull on your heartstrings because you're so empathic. Yes, I know, and that was our lesson to learn, how to shut the door. And Pisces, you will witness their karma. Well, yeah, I know. We're taking the Earth Angel off of this side of the table and then just watching them spiral down into the lake of fire. Simple enough. Simple enough. All right, well, it's what it is. It's what it is. When I hear that trying to sacrifice the Earth Angel to the devil, I thought, how is that possibly going to work? The devil doesn't want the Earth Angel. No, no, no. It wants the whole group. So, all that whole group's, it's just what it is. I can't do anything about that. Can't do anything about that. Continue looking for those Earth Angels that these ladies saying need rescuing. That's what I'll do. With 5-star review, hey, you know what? Earth Angels with a business. I have to stalk your business. I got to come make a fucking appointment. It's just what it is. It's what it is. I mean, come on. I might even bring my dog, but you have to change a dog's diet sometimes. So, I mean, when you look at the ingredients, they feed a dog corn, and I mean, when I have a dupter telling me to cut corn out of my diet, and then you're feeding that to the dog. Have you ever seen a dog stalk corn? Have you ever seen a dog stalk corn? That's as silly as a fucking Earth Angel stalking themselves. Imagine that. Imagine that. Anyway. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.